The rain hit the windshield in steady waves as Raymond sat in the back seat of his Lexus, the wipers brushing away streaks of water with a dull mechanical rhythm. The Lagos traffic was a mess, horns blaring, motorcyclists zigzagging like they had nothing to lose, and pedestrians pressing dangerously close to the moving cars. He wasn't really watching the road, though. His thoughts were drifting, contracts, board meetings, and the unread messages piling up in his inbox. Then his eyes caught something. At first it was a blur, a figure at the junction ahead, soaked, motionless. He squinted. It wasn't the rain making his chest tighten, it was her face. He leaned forward. "Slow down," he told his driver. The car crept forward. The figure became clearer, a woman standing barefoot under the downpour, holding a flimsy plastic bag close to her stomach. Her clothes were torn in places. Her hair, once thick and glorious, now clung to her scalp like it had given up hope. But it wasn't the condition that shook him, it was recognition. Raymond's mouth went dry. Her name was Loma. 3 years ago, she'd been the wildest, freest spirit at a luxury house party in Banana Island. The way she danced, the way she laughed, it stuck with him long after the party ended. They had spoken that night, for hours. She had leaned over the balcony and told him about dreams she hadn't even told her friends. He had wanted to see her again, but the next morning she was gone. No number, no name on social media, nothing. He had tried to forget. Now here she was, pregnant, freezing, standing at a street corner like she'd forgotten what dignity was. "Stop the car," Raymond said sharply. "Sir?" "Stop the damn car," he barked. The driver obeyed. Raymond opened the door and stepped out before the vehicle had fully stopped. The rain hit him instantly, soaking through his suit, but he didn't care. He walked towards her, heart hammering. Loma didn't even look up. She stood still, as if her soul had checked out. "Loma," he said. She flinched. Her head turned, and her eyes, those eyes, met his. She stepped back. "No," she whispered. "Not you." "Yes, it's me." She looked away, trying to step aside. Her body moved slowly, burdened by the weight of the child she carried. "Please don't talk to me. I'm fine." "You're not fine," Raymond replied, stepping closer. "What happened to you?" "It doesn't matter," she said, hugging herself tighter. "It does to me." "Why? You don't owe me anything." He paused. "I don't need to owe you to care." She was quiet. The rain kept falling, her hands trembling from cold or fear. He couldn't tell. "Come with me," he said. "You can't stay out here." She hesitated. "Please," he said again, softer this time. After a moment, she nodded. Raymond gently led her to the car. His driver stared but said nothing. They got in. She didn't speak. She stared out the window, one hand rubbing her stomach absent-mindedly. The ride to his home in Ikoyi was silent. Raymond kept stealing glances at her. Loma didn't flinch. She was somewhere far away in her head. He recognized that look. He'd seen it in men who'd survived war zones. They arrived. His house was modern, clean, and absurdly large for one man. As they stepped inside, she paused at the door, dripping rainwater onto his polished floor. "You can rest here," he said. "I'll bring you a towel. There's food, a bath. You don't have to talk, just be." Loma nodded faintly and stepped in. Her legs were shaky. He left her in the guest room and returned with hot jollof rice, fried plantain and a fluffy towel. "Eat something," he said. She didn't move. He sat beside her. "You remember that party?" he asked. She looked at him slowly. "Yes, I remember how you laughed." "I haven't laughed like that since." "Why?" She shook her head. "Because life changed. Everything I believed in collapsed. I didn't plan for any of this, but it happened." Raymond didn't ask more. He didn't push. He just waited. Finally, she took the spoon and ate slowly, like each bite was a struggle between pride and need. Halfway through, she looked up at him. "You were the only person that night who didn't treat me like decoration. I never forgot that." "I didn't forget you either," he said. The silence between them wasn't awkward. It was shared pain, shared memory. Later, after she'd eaten and showered, he brought her clean clothes. She stared at them. "These are designer," she said, almost accusing. "They're clean," he replied. "That's all that matters." She changed. She looked different. Still tired, still pale, but there was a hint of the girl he remembered. Raymond left her to sleep and returned to his study. He poured himself a drink, stared at the glass for a long time, then emptied it without sipping. This was going to get complicated. The next morning, he woke up to a message from his mother. "Who is the pregnant woman in your house?" He stared at the text, heart sinking. Of course, the staff must have told her. Then the second message came. "Are you out of your mind? Do you want to disgrace the family?" He didn't respond. That afternoon, his mother came in person. She didn't knock, just marched straight into his living room and stood there, dressed in her usual power-laced ankara. "You brought a beggar into this house," she said, her voice low but venomous. "A street girl, pregnant, and you expect me to be calm?" "She's not a beggar," Raymond said. "Is the baby yours?" "No." "Then why the hell is she here?" "Because I saw someone in need and I helped." His mother scoffed. "You're not a charity foundation. You're the future of this family. You're supposed to marry Nkechi." "I never agreed to that," he snapped. "Your father's political future depends on it." "Then let him marry her," Raymond said, standing. His mother's face turned cold. "You'll regret this." "Maybe," he said. "But I won't regret helping her." As his mother stormed out, Loma stood silently in the hallway, having heard everything. She said nothing, just turned and walked slowly back to her room. Later that night, Raymond found her sitting alone by the window. "I'm sorry," she said before he could speak. "For what?" "For bringing drama into your life." "You didn't bring it." "They did." She looked at him. "You're not alone anymore," he said. She didn't smile, but she didn't cry either. That was progress. Then without warning, she asked, "Do you want to know the truth?" He blinked. "About what?" "About the pregnancy." Raymond felt his throat tighten. "Tell me." She looked away, then back at him. Her voice was quiet. "It's yours." Raymond didn't move. For a full 10 seconds, the room felt frozen. Then finally he exhaled. "What?" She didn't flinch this time. "That night, after the party, you took me home. We talked, remember?" "I remember everything," he said slowly. "I didn't want it to happen like that. I didn't expect it to mean so much. But you were kind. You didn't pressure me. You made me feel safe, and I let go." Raymond's heartbeat thundered in his ears. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was ashamed," she said. "And when I found out, I tried to reach you, but I had no number, no address, nothing. Then life took over. I lost my job, got sick, slept on couches. Friends disappeared, family gone. The pregnancy got harder. Then one day I saw your face again, on a billboard. Raymond Akine, founder of Zenith Creative. My heart sank. I knew I'd never fit into your world." He swallowed hard, but didn't look away from her. "You should have tried harder." She turned her face to the window. "I was surviving. I didn't have the luxury to chase fairy tales." "I'm not a fairy tale, Loma." "I know," she said. "You're real." "That's what makes it worse." He was quiet for a long time. "Then is it really mine?" "Yes." He nodded, then stood up and paced the room once, twice. She watched him, expecting anger. But instead, he walked over to her, knelt beside the couch and placed a hand on her belly. A tear escaped her eye. He whispered, "Hey, little one, it's me, I'm your dad." Loma covered her mouth, her body shaking with quiet sobs. Raymond didn't stop her. He just kept his hand there, calm, steady, warm. Later, when she had composed herself, he sat beside her. "Everything changes now," he said. "You're not alone anymore. Your mother will kill you. Let her try. And Nkechi? I was never going to marry her." That was politics, not love. Loma wiped her cheeks. "What happens now?" "Now," Raymond said, standing up, "we plan. I have another property in Lekki. Quiet, private. You'll move there tomorrow. I'll handle the rest." She blinked. "You're serious?" "I've never been more serious." She looked down. "I don't want to be a burden." He crouched again, forcing her to look at him. "You're carrying my child. That's not a burden. That's a miracle." She smiled for the first time in days. It was weak, but it was real. The next morning, they moved her. The house in Lekki Phase 1 was a 3-bedroom duplex with high walls, security, and a garden that smelled like rain and hibiscus. She gasped when she entered. "You didn't have to do all this," she said. I know, Raymond replied, but I wanted to. He left her there with a housekeeper and a driver. Anything you need, tell them, and I'll check on you every day. Deal? She nodded. Deal. As he turned to leave, she called out, Raymond. He looked back. Thank you. That week he stayed away from everyone. His phone rang non-stop. His mother, Nkechi, his father's associates, even journalists who had caught wind of him harboring a mysterious woman. He ignored them all until his mother showed up again. This time she was calmer. We need to talk, she said, sitting stiffly in his office. If this is about Loma, it is. He folded his arms. I'm not changing my mind. His mother sighed. Neither am I. They stared at each other. Finally, she said, you were always stubborn, like your father, but at least you're consistent. If the baby is yours, we'll accept it. But she must stay hidden. This cannot become public. It will ruin everything. Raymond raised a brow. So we'll pretend? Exactly. He leaned forward. No. She blinked. Excuse me? I said no. My son will know his name. And his father. I won't hide him. Do you understand what you're throwing away? Yes, he said. And I don't care. She stood. Then don't expect support from the family. I never did. That evening, Raymond visited Loma. She was in the garden, humming softly, the breeze catching the edge of her wrapper. He stood watching for a moment before speaking. You're glowing. She smiled. The house helps. He handed her a small bag. She opened it. Inside was a set of custom baby onesies, each printed with the words, Daddy's Little Legend. She laughed, and for the first time in weeks it wasn't cautious. They sat together under the tree. I told my mother everything, he said. And? She wants to keep us quiet. I refused. Her expression tensed. Raymond, be careful. I'm done hiding. This child will be born into truth, not lies. There was silence. Then quietly Loma whispered, there's something else. His heart skipped. What? She looked down at her hands. Before I saw you that day on the street, someone else found me first. His stomach tightened. Who? She hesitated. A man. His name is Malik. He owns some buildings around Ajagunle. He took me in. Raymond's face hardened. What kind of man? Not a kind one, she said. He gave me a room, food, but then he started coming in at night, asking questions, watching me. I didn't trust him. Did he touch you? No, she said quickly. He never did. But I think he thinks I owe him something. Raymond stood. Where is he now? She grabbed his wrist. Don't, please, let it go. I left his house when I saw you. That's it. Loma, if he tries to... He won't, I promise. But Raymond wasn't convinced. The next day, he sent one of his trusted security men to find Malik. They found him easily. Tall, scarred, sharp eyes, a landlord with political ambitions and a taste for control. When Raymond's man approached him with a warning, Malik only smiled. You think because she's pregnant now, she's yours? She was on my floor first. She knows what she owes. Raymond didn't respond to the message immediately. But that night he made a call, and Malik disappeared. Loma never asked what happened. She simply woke up one morning to find the fear gone from her chest. She never saw Malik again. Weeks passed. Her belly grew. Raymond attended every appointment. He painted the nursery himself. They had long nights of laughter, quiet mornings with tea, and late conversations about names, diapers, and destiny, until the storm came. It began with a viral blog post. Who is the woman carrying Raymond Akeen's child? Photos of Loma at a clinic. Comments flooded in. Rumors flew. Raymond's PR team panicked. His mother called him 20 times in an hour. The board of Zenith Creative held an emergency meeting, and then came the bombshell. Loma received a letter at the house. A threat. A DNA test demand, anonymous. Inside the envelope, a photo of her sleeping taken from outside her window. She screamed when she opened it. Raymond rushed to the house. She was trembling, holding the envelope like it was poison. I told you, she whispered. They're watching us. Raymond grabbed the photo. Rage twisted his face. This ends now, he said. He doubled her security. He pulled out of 2 contracts. He gave an exclusive interview to a major outlet. This is Loma, he said on live TV. She's carrying my son. She's not a secret. She's not a mistake. She's family. The internet exploded. Some applauded him. Others tore him apart. The board threatened to remove him. He didn't flinch. He stood by her. And as the world went wild, Raymond and Loma built their cocoon, tight, messy, unbreakable. Then one night she went into labor. Raymond drove like a madman through the rain. She screamed in the back seat, gripping his hand. Hours later, under the flicker of hospital lights, she gave birth to a baby boy. Raymond held him first. His son, his heir, his fire. He named him Zane, Zainekene, the boy who changed everything. Raymond held Zane in his arms, his hands trembling not from fear, but from the sheer force of feeling that gripped his chest. The tiny boy opened his eyes for a moment, just a flicker, just long enough for Raymond to see a future stretching out in front of him. One filled with hope, risk, and something he hadn't known he wanted so badly, belonging. Loma lay weak on the hospital bed, her eyes fluttering open. The second she saw Raymond cradling their son, something inside her relaxed. The fear, the survival instinct, the constant need to look over her shoulder, it all faded. She had made it. They had made it. "He has your eyes," Raymond said softly. "And your stubborn chin," she whispered. He smiled and leaned over, placing the baby gently in her arms. She stared at the boy, her body still sore, but her heart light. For a few days it was bliss. No cameras, no drama, just diapers, warmth, and quiet glances that said everything they didn't have to say out loud. But it didn't last. One evening, Raymond got a call from his assistant, breathless, panicked. "Sir, you need to come to the office now." "Why?" "Someone broke in." Raymond was there in 10 minutes. Files were scattered, drawers broken, his personal safe pried open. But the most important thing, the hard drive with all his upcoming projects, confidential agreements and personal records, was gone. Security footage showed nothing. Cameras had been disabled. It was an inside job. But that wasn't the worst part. That night, a new video surfaced online. Loma, a fake video. Someone had edited clips from old security cams, added suggestive angles, even doctored voiceovers to make it look like she was seducing men for money. It was crude but effective. Blogs went wild. Baby mama or scammer? Raymond's secret lover exposed. The comments were brutal. Raymond's mother called again. "You see, I told you. She's trash. Look what she's doing to our name." Raymond ended the call. He didn't sleep that night. Neither did Loma. She sat by the window in the nursery, rocking Zane slowly, her eyes red. "I shouldn't have come back into your life," she said. "Don't say that. This is my fault. You're losing everything because of me. I haven't lost anything that matters." She looked at him with tears falling silently. "I'm tired of fighting." Raymond knelt beside her. "Then don't fight alone anymore." The next morning, he called a press conference. He played the unedited footage, the original clips, security timestamps, proof of tampering. Then he said, "If this is what it takes to protect my family, so be it. But whoever did this, know this. I see you, and I will come for you." It was direct. It was dangerous. But it worked. The narrative flipped. Public opinion shifted. But the attacks didn't stop. One night, Raymond's brake lines were cut. He survived. 2 days later, Loma received another letter. This time, no threats, just one sentence. "You were never meant for him." Raymond hired a private investigator. Within weeks, they uncovered the truth. The sabotage, the blackmail, the break-in, it all traced back to one name, Nkechi, or rather, her family. Not the high society princess everyone believed her to be, but a carefully constructed facade. Her real name was Ifunanya Achumba. Her father, not a diplomat, but a laundering mastermind hiding under fake credentials. And Raymond's marriage to her, it would have sealed his future and his silence. They'd used him, and when he chose Loma, he became a liability. Raymond wanted to go public, burn it all, but Loma stopped him. "No," she said, "let's end it quietly. We can't just let them go. They want you destroyed, not for justice, for ego. We'll win by surviving. By thriving." He didn't like it, but she was right. So he let it go, sort of. In the shadows, Raymond pulled strings. 6 months later, Ifunanya's fake business empire collapsed. One by one, her shell companies folded. A quiet investigation was launched. By the time she realized what was happening, it was too late. But Raymond never once attached his name to any of it. Loma and Zane were the only headlines he wanted, and that's what happened. Gradually, the noise died down. Raymond returned to work, though not to the same office. He launched a new creative agency, Phoenix 88. It was smaller, tighter, more intentional. And the first ad they ran? A short video of a father changing diapers with one hand and typing business emails with the other. Caption, Redefining Strength, one real story at a time. It went viral. Loma, meanwhile, began to paint again. She'd studied art years ago, before everything fell apart. Now, with Zane asleep in his crib and her heart finally calm, the colors returned to her fingers. Raymond turned the guest room into her studio. She had her first exhibition 6 months later. It sold out. One buyer offered to fly her to New York. She declined. "I've seen enough airports," she said with a smile. Instead, they bought a quiet home in Ipi, big garden, no press. Loma opened a studio there, called it True Form. Raymond commuted between Lagos and Ipi, but he always came back to her, to Zane. Then one night, as they sat under the stars, Zane asleep inside, Raymond took out a ring. She stared at it, a plain silver band with their initials etched on the inside. "I've already had the dream life," she said. "I don't need the ceremony." "I know," Raymond said. "But I want you to have it. Not for the world, for us. A moment that's just ours." She nodded. They got married quietly. No tuxedos, no limos. No viral hashtags. Just them, barefoot on a beach. Zane threw sand on their feet as they kissed. And in that quiet moment, no scandals, no headlines, no applause, just waves, wind, and a three-person family wrapped in realness. Raymond realized he hadn't saved her. She had saved him. 2 years later, the house in Ipi was alive with color, sound, and joy. Zane was now running around with his toy helicopter shouting, "Fire, fire!" every time he crashed it into the sofa. Loma, barefoot in a white linen gown stained with brush strokes, was adjusting a large canvas in her home studio. Her latest piece, a swirl of red and indigo, reflected something raw, rebirth. Raymond was on the porch, laptop open, handling a Zoom call with foreign investors who wanted to license Phoenix 88's creative process for a digital storytelling campaign. He kept one eye on the screen and the other on his son, who was now trying to drag the dog by its ear. "Zane," he said without looking up, "be nice to Rolo or he'll file a police report." Zane giggled. "Doggy no get phone." Laughter echoed across the home. Everything was simple now, clean, no scandals, no headlines, just slow, purposeful living. But life had one more twist waiting. One afternoon, as Loma packed up her artwork to be shipped to a gallery in Accra, Raymond received a message from his mother. "I need to see you urgently." They hadn't spoken much in 2 years. After the fallout, she kept her distance. But something about the tone struck him. He drove to her estate. She looked smaller now, quieter. The woman who used to command rooms now moved with tired dignity. "I'm not here to fight," she said as he stepped in. "I didn't come to fight either," he replied. She poured him tea without asking. "I'm sick," she said. He looked up sharply. "It's early, but the doctors think it's lymphoma. I start treatment soon." Raymond blinked. "I'm sorry." She gave a small smile. "I was hoping to see Zane before I start." He nodded slowly. "He's always asked about Grandma. I haven't earned that title." "You can still try." She nodded. A week later, she visited Epe. Zane was confused at first, then thrilled. Grandma came with cookies, big sunglasses, and a strange laugh that sounded like cartoons. They clicked instantly. Loma watched from the doorway, holding back tears. That night, Raymond and his mother sat outside, watching the moon. "I was wrong," she said, "about everything. That girl, your wife, she's the best thing that ever happened to this family." Raymond placed a hand on hers. "She saved me, Ma, not just with love, with clarity, with stillness." His mother exhaled. "I spent so long building ladders for power that I forgot how to sit still, to enjoy what matters." "You have time," he said. "We all do." 3 months later, she completed her first round of chemotherapy. Loma took her to every appointment. They bonded through pain, through patience, through forgiveness. One morning, she called Loma to her room and handed her an envelope. Inside was a deed of land in Abuja. "This is yours," she said. "Build something for women who lost everything and found their way back." Loma stared at her. "I know," his mother said. "I was the last person you expected this from, but I see you now, and I respect you." Loma nodded. "Thank you." Raymond built a new extension to the Eep house, a glass sunroom. Loma filled it with art. Zayn painted beside her, his hands messy, his tongue sticking out with concentration. Then one evening, while Raymond was tucking Zayn into bed, the little boy asked, "Daddy, were you scared when you saw Mummy outside that day?" Raymond paused. "Yes."
Why?
"Because I thought I saw a ghost, but really I saw an angel." "Is Mummy an angel?" "She's more than that. She's the reason we're all here." Zayn smiled and closed his eyes. Raymond turned off the light, stepped out quietly, and walked into the backyard where Loma sat with a cup of tea, staring at the stars. "They shine brighter here," she said softly. "They shine brighter near you." She smiled.
Poetic.
"No, just honest." They sat in silence. Then she said, "Do you ever miss your old life?" Raymond thought for a moment. "No, I miss the idea of it. The noise, the illusion of importance, but not the life itself. I love this. You, him, us." Loma reached for his hand. He held it like it was air. The wind passed softly. Somewhere in the trees an owl called. In that moment there were no scandals, no secrets, no boardroom wars or fake titles or social media fires. Just a man who had almost lost himself, a woman who had once been discarded by the world, and a little boy who'd made them whole again. They had rewritten their story, on their terms, from broken beginnings to something quietly magnificent. And even though the world had tried to pull them apart, life had stitched them together with threads stronger than status. Threads made of choice, of loyalty, of love. This story reminds us that love, when real, doesn't care about status, mistakes, or the opinions of the world. Raymond saw a woman society had discarded, but instead of walking past, he chose compassion. And Loma, in her lowest moment, held on to dignity and truth. Together, they built something stronger than money or power, a family grounded in love, respect, and growth. We learn that kindness is never weakness. People can change when given truth and time. Real love stands firm, even in the face of noise, betrayal, and broken beginnings. The world may mislabel you, but it can't define you unless you let it. Sometimes, second chances lead to life's most beautiful firsts. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this emotional journey? Did Raymond make the right choice? Should Loma have revealed the truth earlier? And what would you have done if you were in either of their shoes? Let's talk about it in the comments below. If you felt something during this story, if it touched your heart even a little, please give us a thumbs up. Share this video with a friend who loves a good story. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another powerful tale. This is where stories live. This is where voices rise. This is your channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay real, stay kind, and always stay curious.